Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. And yo, today's topic, y'all heard what was going on. IU versus LSU. And look, let me be real. I don't really have a dog in this race, but we know what was going on. We know what was said, and we know what competitive fervor was attacked by certain people on Twitter. So before anything starts, I'm going to kick this off right. So we all knew Caitlin Clark has been a singular dynamo for women's basketball in college. Okay, she's came in, I think she's averaging 31.4, 31.3 points a game, multiple 40-point explosions from her, absolutely dynamite. Okay, and she's came in as the proverbial favorite to win. Okay, and look, I want to say before I go into this, people do not realize, and because it's the Wunderkind Show, we get down to the nitty gritty. Sports is littered with black versus white. It's what saved the NBA. It's the reason why people were watching Conor McGregor versus Floyd. It's the reason people love the first Rocky movie so much. It is what it is. It creates a narrative where people can get to sides and people will say, you look like me, so I'm going to support you. It's easy. It makes money. Okay? There's not a problem with it. Right? There's not. It's not. The problem starts to come when people start to do what? Put their own insecurities into it and trying to project their viewpoint on it. And that's what you see what happened with the Caitlin Clark thing. So then this girl comes out there. She's doing the John Cena, you can't see me, right? Which is crazy. The person that should be getting, all the love for that is Tony Yayo. A lot of people to see, I'm going to show my age. Tony Yayo was 50 Cent's right-hand man. He's the one that was I get it. He's the one that was starting that, not John Cena. But guess what? No one remembers that. That's Tony Yayo's. So once again, the black versus white derivative, right? So no problem, whatever. So, but she's doing the John Cena. You can't see me. She's done it multiple times, right, to her opponents. She showed up her opponents multiple times in the heat of competition, and there was never a problem, never a whisper. Actually, she was exalted for it. She was called the queen of the clapback. The queen of it, right? So no problem. She was allowed to do like this to her people, wave them off, tell them you can't touch this, like she empty hand, but can't touch this, can't touch this. She was allowed to do all of it, and no one said a word. So Angel Reese, who has, and there's backstory to this context, Angel Reese has played this girl 3 other times. Angel Reese is actually undefeated against Caitlin Clark. Undefeated. So she took exception to what she was doing and said, you know what? Okay, time to unleash the beast. And she went off and her team won the tournament. And she was great. I think she has the record for most double-doubles in women's college history. That's her. And she goes like this to her, looking around, making sure she could see her. Like, hey, you can't see me, right? And then when she was walking away, she goes, hey, this ain't a one-man show. Even that was misconstrued because people thought she called her a H.O. Or then it was funny that she said, this is not a one-man show. Meaning, I got the horses on my side. It's not just me. This is a team sport, right? So everything's transversing. Caitlin Clark is a story that everyone's been looking at. And so everybody jumps on. It's like, oh my God. Oh my word. How could Angel Reese disrespect her like that? How could she be so stupid, idiotic, foolish, classless? And then, more time than ever, they never said anything when Caitlin was doing it. They even went as far as to say, hey, it was because she's following around. That's why. Bro, look, I'm going to be real with you. What all of you seemed to need in that moment when you guys were profusely typing so quickly on your digital keyboards is this. Slap! Because you know why? None of you men that have the unmitigated gall to call a college student, a young lady, right? Those things would ever stand having a man call your sister that, call your mother that, call your auntie that, call your niece that. Am I tripping? And look, and I said this, I'll be real with you, Caitlin Clark took it on the chin like a champ. She said, look, they won. It's made, it did what it was supposed to do. It helped out the sport. Everybody's talking about it. Angel Reese is amazing. I hope I get to play her again. You know what I'm saying? She wants problems. That's what you want out of a competitive first. Why is it such a bad thing in the heat of competition that women show this? Seriously, you have to start asking these questions, because I would like to remember, a lot of people don't, and I know this analogy has been used on multiple people, but Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, it saved the NBA. It saved it. Matter of fact, they created March Madness. And it was okay. Larry Bird was one of the coldest trash talkers in NBA history. In NBA history. Do you know why? And look, I'm going to be candid. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we do on the Wunderkind Show. Do you know why Larry Bird was so revered, even amongst black people? It's because he talked it, he walked it. He didn't care. He didn't look at you and be like, how dare you speak to me like that? No, he's like, you don't talk that smack to me. I'm Larry. This ball sings like Barry. And he backed it up. So you know what that did? That caused the microcosm, because then it's like, white people's looking at it like, oh, we got our guy now. We got someone that looks like us in the league, talks like us in the league, wears what we wear in the league. That is doing damage. That's the real. And then us, we had the Magic Johnsons, right? So it's like, oh yeah, baby, is this year yours? No, this year is ours. And it's back and forth. And every 1 year you get to talk your trash. Next year we get to talk our trash. This year you get to talk your trash. Next year we get to talk our trash. And it was just back and forth. And it created a beautiful narrative of absolute high-level competition. That's including trash talk. So why now do you have a problem with two competitors? I don't care that they're women. What you think? When we say a man, when you walk into a place and you that dude, what do we say? You put your cojones on the table. You walk around like you the dude. For the women, they put their breast on the table. Boom, drop it on there. They that girl. They that woman. So why is it a problem now? Even down to Joe Biden. Jesus God. Saying, oh, hi. Both teams played so spectacularly. I'm going to invite both. If it's up to me. No, what you wanted to do was invite Caitlin and LSU. And if LSU would have won, you wouldn't have done that. You would not have done that. You wouldn't have. See, this is what I'm saying, man. Look, I don't baby. The problem is we live in this mindset that women should be coddled in competition. And it's wrong. It's wrong. Women do not need to be coddled in competition. They're women versus women. It's fierce combat. Okay? Listen, blood is flowing. You're going to talk trash. You're going to bump. You're going to foul. You're trying to assert your dominance. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem starts to go when you have people like Keith Olbermann calling young ladies idiots. I'm sorry, effing idiots. Another grown man who runs Barstool calling somebody a classless piece of you-know-what. And doing everything to back it up for his reasoning on doing that. I would love to see if you guys had a daughter and they were in fierce competition and another man called your daughter that. I would love to see how y'all would react. You see, that's where the conundrum comes in, and there's no parity in it. Look, people run away from the black and white talk when people don't understand that a lot of times it builds sports narratives. Don't y'all listen? When Deontay Wilder fought, I forgot his name. Crap, I forgot his name. When Deontay Wilder fought, what's his name? He hit him and he dropped. He was real, the Gypsy King, I believe they call him. And he was knocked out and he woke up like the Undertaker. He just got up like this and got up and stood up. The narrative was black and white. It's black and white. That's what it was. There's nothing wrong with it. It built up the hype for the attraction. That's what it does. That's why I'm honest with things. I told you this show is rooted in truth. White people watch this show. Black people watch this show. Spanish people watch this show. Asian people watch this show. You gotta have parity, and you have to have context. That's the problem. There is no parity. There's no context. If you have two athletes, high-level athletes, going at each other, of course they're trying to assert dominance. And the funny thing is, even after Angel Reese did what they were talking to her like she was Patrick Beverly. And Patrick Beverly, no shake to him, one of the best defensive players in the league for years, was a great college and high school player and stuff like that in his own right. Making the NBA is amazing. But I'm talking about at an NBA level, they're acting like she was Patrick Beverly. This girl averaged 23.5 points a game. 15.5 points, 15.5 boards a game. Like 4 or 5 assists a game. Like 2 blocks a game. And they were talking about Angel Reese like she's a no good piece of you know what. How dare you? She's the champion. To the victor goes the spoils. Everybody knows that. Why is it a problem now? Because it's women? Why is it a problem? Because Caitlyn, whatever, she's that new way for, you know what I'm saying? That kind of brings it to the white and black thing. You know what you should have said? And show how crazy it is. You ain't nothing compared to Caitlyn. She'll get it next year. That's you know what you would have said? I can't wait to see her next year. That would have been proper. But to call somebody's daughter that, somebody's niece, maybe somebody's aunt, somebody that's in college, when you know you wouldn't stand if a man said that to your kid. Bro, these guys is tripping. Absolutely tripping. And he didn't even apologize. He was like, bro, look, I'm not somebody that believes you should apologize if you don't mean it. If you just apologize because everyone's telling you to apologize. But bro, you don't see what you did wrong? You're in such, at least Oberman said, you know what, I'm sorry. He kept it up and said, I'm sorry, which if you're going to speak what you said, you might as well keep it up. This thing where I'm going to erase it, the internet, you can't erase nothing off the internet. The notion of I'm going to erase it so, it's like I'm getting rid of it. No, you're not. Everyone's already bookmarked it, screenshotted it. It's never going nowhere. He kept it up, and under he said, yo, my bad, whatever. And I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, the Barstool dude, Portnoy, I already told y'all before I didn't like him, right? Snide, condescending, just a real kind of like, butthole-ish type of person. I told you I didn't feel him before. This solidified it. Look, let athletes be athletes. Let them be athletes. There was no fist fighting, nothing like that. This was hardcore, 2 young ladies at the height of their powers and prowess in the biggest game of their lives showing out. That's what it was. How dare anybody try to taint that? This is bigger than Caitlyn. This is bigger than Angel. This can be what catapults WNBA, for the longest time, we've been saying the WNBA needs a spark. Because for the longest time, the NBA had all-star games and everything before Magic. They had a lot of players, top 50 players from those eras and stuff like that. But it waned. It waned. It took Magic and Bird to revitalize it in the States. Then it took Michael Jordan to take it global. That's not conjecture, that's fact. This is what it could do. That's the level it could be. It was the big, bro. They had that. They had the women's game and the men's game. And the women's game was way more watched than the men by like 5-point-something million more watched the women's game than the men's. The spark. The spark that started the inferno. How dare you try to taint it? Because that's what you did. You saw a moment and you wanted to interject your big mouth into it. Portnoy, Oberman, and the plethora of others. And you tried to divide. And what did Caitlyn say after? It's great for the sport. I'll say this. I think both ladies are class acts. I think both of them are great for their sports. I think both of them represent both sides well. I think they're both beautiful young ladies, and they are representing it properly. You don't think they both trash talk? Acting like Angel Reese is the devil all of a sudden for something that you were giving adulation to Caitlyn for, it shows that you don't even respect the game that they're playing. You were just hoping for dominance from one side because of certain opinions and viewpoints that you might have. And because you lost and you didn't get to beat that other side, your viewpoints became exasperated in that moment because you were mad that you couldn't say that we won this. You actively tried to steal the moment that could change women's basketball for the foreseeable future. Shame on you, Barstool Sports. Shame on you, Keith Olbermann, and shame on everybody because they don't see a problem with what they did. Because at what point do you look at it and say, I was wrong? If you don't believe you're wrong in that moment, please just listen to this.
Stop it. Get some help.
Help! Get all the help you can get because you need it. You need it. And that's another episode of The Wunderkind Show. So look, thank you all for watching. That's another episode of The Wunderkind Show. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and you know I appreciate it. Today starts, that means April 6th starts the first time we're doing 2 shows a day. This is the first show we'll be doing. It'll be covering current topics on all genres of sports. The second episode that will be coming out around 5 or 6 o'clock will be on our normal scheduled programming. That means Ravens football. So thank you all for watching once again. And look, leave a comment. You know I love when you guys comment. I talk to you guys down there. We have great conversation. Just please remember, be courteous to people with differing opinions than you, because I know it's a lightning rod for a lot of different things. Just be respectful. That's all I ask. And if you would like to help this platform grow even larger and bring it to greater heights, at the bottom of the screen is a Cash App for donations. You see the QR code. You can also find the Cash App in the description. # The Wunderkind Show. Also available in the description is the new Wunderkind Patreon. Yes, ma'ams. Yes, sirs. It is now up and running. And we will be opening up #Team Wunderkind Discord this week. So once again, this is the Wunderkind Show. This is your host, Nitro, signing off. And as always, you guys knows my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. At least till later. Yeah!